Welcome to this One Web Street video. Today I'm going to be talking through what matters for your business's digital presence. Now, you might have seen other videos on One Web Street. We talk about presence, business, and how you can grow your brand online, and then obviously from that filters through to more qualified leads, more revenue, more profit, etc. And the ultimate goal of helping more people, but also making more money in the process. So let's talk about, well, what do you as a business or any kind of service business actually need to do that's going to promote your business in the digital world. There's certain parts of the digital world that are more important to concentrate on, but essentially it doesn't really matter if you're in New York and you're an architect, you're in London and you're a business consultant, or you're a personal trainer in Hong Kong in Asia. Now, they're completely different parts of the world, but essentially how you take the base foundation structure and how you think about your online presence for your business is going to be a very similar way. The internet has brought people together. You'll know that from 24-hour news channels and information that you can get from across the world. And then information and YouTube videos such as this, that I'm British, maybe you're in a different part of the world, possibly. I'm recording this from Southeast Asia, so it's just the internet has opened up massive potential in revenue, in reaching people, and then generating income from those people that you reach. It's no longer local. It's no longer in your country. And that's gonna have a massive impact on how you think about things, or how you should think about things. Now, a big part of that is branding. And some people will refer to branding and marketing, etc., and concentrate on SEO, search engine optimization, Google search, Bing search. Other companies will focus on social media as a potential to grow a business and develop it. Now, I'm going to talk through those different parts and how those elements in online presence can help you and your business. They're all marketing activities. Marketing and advertising and growing your business online is what we talk about in One Web Street. But if you think about it on the foundation part, you're not going to be selling to everyone locally, and you're not going to be selling to everyone throughout the world. You'll have your niche, your avatar, your customer profile. Some people talk about it, but what the internet has generated the ability for smaller businesses to do, smaller businesses under 5 million a year revenue, has allowed you to sell to anyone in the world, even if someone's like 2,000 or 3,000 miles away, even if they're in a completely different time zone. It could be a business in New York selling to a consumer, or even another business in Singapore. And the internet has made things like that so much easier. But it also means that you'll need to take a concentration with your business, with your online presence, to a specific customer avatar, customer profile, or niche person. Okay? So you're not going to be selling to everyone. So there are key aspects in your digital presence. Your website is fundamentally important. At One Web Street, myself and Nathan, we believe that your website is the central hub of your business online. You're going to be offering information and stories about you, your services, your team, what you offer to a potential client or customer. And then, you're going to have contact details on there. Maybe it's someone who's going to give you a call, or it's someone who's going to send you a message or an email, because not everybody is going to contact you in the same way. And if you've been online for a year or two, then you'll understand that. If it's 2 a.m. in the morning their time, they're not going to pick up the phone, because they're probably expecting that no one's going to actually answer the phone on your end. And that would be normal, right? Maybe they'll send a contact form submission. Maybe they'll send you a message on a social media channel such as Facebook. But there's fundamental aspects on every single business website that need to be there in order to encourage those visitors to then do something, or to go from, oh, I've got 100 visitors today, how many of those have we turned into clients or potential clients or even leads that can then be nurtured over the coming months. So there's 4 or 5 points here: adequate calls to action on the website, buttons for people to do, language that encourages someone to take action, and potentially on one page of the website, for example, a specific service page, not just one button saying, oh, send us a message. Or, for example, not a great call to action would be, oh, order now this service from us, and that goes to your contact page. That is pants. Pants equals rubbish, if you're not familiar with a little bit of British slang. Like a lead magnet, collecting email addresses to create a funnel or a follow-up. Email addresses are hugely important still. Phone numbers are, but if you're targeting internationally, or if you've got international customers, which to be fair you really should do, then some of the time phone calls might not be advantageous. Facebook tracking pixel is hugely important. Even if you're not currently advertising, you need to get that ad account set up, get that pixel code, install it, because then you can start tracking people and you can start creating audiences from the visits to your website. Now, don't forget, if you do that, don't forget to update your privacy policy page, which every website should have. A/B split testing, that's important as well, but maybe towards a higher end of integration. So from a point of view of the 4 of these are kind of things that you should really do today, this week. A/B split testing can be one thing that can be left for a little bit later, but don't forget about it. A lack of overall SEO optimization, whether that's on page or off page. On page is sorting out tags, title tags, descriptions, content, etc., what you've got on your website pages, and I'll talk about that in a different video, but it's to do with that, but it's also encouraging people to click through from Facebook, from Google, Bing, etc., etc. Now, when I come across a website and I'm looking at a company's website and I see that they just haven't got any of these things here, or they're disjointed, then I kind of do shake my head, and it kind of upsets me that they might not know what they don't know. But it's also a thing that if your website is like that, then you're throwing away things every day. You might as well just get a $20 bill, a £10 note, and just throw it out the window every single day, because that's essentially what you're doing. And for some companies, you might be throwing a lot more than that out the window. Now, a quick thing on one-page WordPress websites or one-page sites. We do believe in WordPress. We make no, we don't hold back about that. WordPress is really, really great system to build on at the moment. But if you've got a one-page website, then it needs to be a great one-page website. One-page websites aren't necessarily brochure sites, or the traditional brochure sites, a 5-page site. Oh, I just want my presence out there. A lot of times those brochure sites aren't really that good. So just keep that in mind. So that was the website is the key hub of your online presence. Social media is really important. And this is where you will connect with people through stories, where you will grow lead sales and ultimately revenue and profit if you do it right. And if you don't do it right, then you might feel as though you're wasting your time. That does happen in a lot of cases. So how do you then combat against that? Well, there's 6 to 10, 5 or 6 main steps that you can take to ensure that you're going to be making impact with the right people. Creating a customer profile and avatar, really important. Understand who it is. Again, you're not selling to everybody. And your customer profile or avatar might change over time as well. And it should do, because you might find, well, we're not actually selling to Rosemary, who's 27, has 2 kids, is in a suburban area, as a semi-detached. I'm not sure what that will be in the US, to be fair, but it's like a big house split into two. Yeah. Researching trends and popular stories, they're popular too, or they're good to share on social media, essentially because they're in current news. People want to hear them, and that doesn't mean to say that it needs to be current news, but there's certain tools that you can use to research popular stories or what have been popular things in the past. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but that's not really my voice. Well, it isn't, but you can always give your opinion on those types of things, and that's important, especially when you're linking to a piece of information that has come from a trusted source, or what the general public would think as trusted, in inverted commas. You can give your story, your opinion, and that's hugely important to connect with the people that you want to connect to in this avatar. So similar to commentary and scheduling your stories, that's important as well. You don't want to be spending so much time or coming every single day to do something. You potentially don't want to automate it, but you don't want to do it all manually either. Lots of different advice that we have on One Web Street about that. Understanding engagement and connection, I think that's self-explanatory. Replying, and communicating with your audience. If your audience has an opinion, if someone posts an opinion, like even if they disagree with you, that's okay, that's good. Keep that conversation going to a point where you feel that's benefit to both parties. If it then starts not to be, then that's the point, clearly to exit stage left. And then analysing, pivoting for the future. That's kind of a business thing anyway, but online it's a lot easier to do. And we haven't even discussed social media channels yet, so this is just social media in general, and most of these points can be taken for any social media channel. You might, in your head, you might be thinking, oh, well, this is Facebook, or Julie next to you might be thinking, oh, well, that's Twitter for me. So it depends what social media channels you use. But also, when we come later to discuss about social media and the channels, it depends where your potential clients and customers are. So how can you be more effective on social media? Well, it's about using the right tools. It's not about automating things to a point where you share a picture with 17 billion hashtags on Instagram and that gets auto-shared to your Facebook business page. I personally think, from looking at data, that that's wrong, and that is quite naive of people to assume, and it's kind of lazy. Does that mean to say that you need to take a lot of time to create a new image and a new story and a new angle for Facebook? Well, no, it doesn't. It means that using things like Buffer or Hootsuite to talk about whatever story, whatever thing that you want to talk about with your audience, but adapting it for a different social media channel. So I've given an example here about hashtags are good on Facebook, but you don't want tons of them like you would on Instagram. And photos do work on Facebook, but video is majorly important now on Facebook, and the native style video, not a YouTube share. Search, Google search. When someone goes to search things, usually they're going to be using, wherever they are in the world, they'll generally use Google or Bing. There might be some smaller search engine companies, but essentially these are the two big ones. I know from where I'm from in the UK, google.co.uk is absolutely stupendously massive. There was a little bit of research a couple of years ago that I think it was something like 80 or 90% of the search market is by Google. I know that's a little bit different in the US and other parts of the Americas, where Bing is a little bit more prominent, especially if you're over like 50, etc. I know I've seen some data on that over the last couple of years. But it's really, really important to be in search. Search from the point of view of, even if you don't think that people are searching and got a need to search for what you're offering, it's really important is Google for trust. For example, let's say you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, and then they go and search for your company name on Google, then it's important that you're there. And I'm probably focusing now on B2B. If you're B2B concentration, then it's going to be a trust element. It's going to be, what's your story on the website? Can they easily find you on Google, and are you prominently there? Because that's important. If you B2C, then you're probably going to get people with a higher intent that are coming through from Google or Bing. If they're on Facebook and you're doing ads to people, then you're trying to pull them in, and you're trying to disrupt. Essentially you're advertising, you're not marketing at that point, and you're trying to disrupt the flow of their consumption of information to get them to move across. If someone's searching on Google or Bing, then they've already got that intent and that motivation behind them, and you essentially just need to give them a little bit of an encouragement by having your website or the web page that they're going to be clicking on correctly optimized in search to then encourage them to click through. So it's worth thinking about. Google and Bing are absolutely stupendous and massive. Video, you're watching a video now, it's easier for you to connect with a person through video. Your face, like this video, doesn't need to be in front of them, because when you're listening, you can hear my tonality, you can hear my accent. Some people love it, some people, don't like it so much. But video is really, really, really important for your business's online presence. It allows you to make a real connection with a potential client and even current clients or customers. It's that thing, isn't it, that it costs 7 or 8 times more to get a person to buy from you that's only heard from you a few times, compared to a person that's already bought something from you. Whether it's service, whether it's a product, it doesn't really matter. Whether they're on their monthly maximum, that doesn't matter. There's always different upsells, etc., that you can do. And video from you as a team, or as the business owner, is going to be hugely massive against large corporations that are in your niche. So in your industry, there will be large corporations. There's going to be, in every single industry, there's large corporations. Now, they're not going to be able to connect. They won't be able to connect with people as you can, as a business owner or as a team. Okay? And then it makes it easier when a person comes in to see you, or speaks on the phone, because they've already made that connection, they've already heard your voice, they're already connected to you as a person or people. Quick thing about video, YouTube and Facebook are really, really big at the moment. I mentioned it earlier that don't put your YouTube link onto Facebook. They prefer native, so essentially uploading the MP4 or MOV or whatever it is to Facebook directly, entering all the tag information on there, putting your little story alongside it. Sometimes the subtitles are good to put in there as well. But also, I'd say put on YouTube as well. YouTube works better with Twitter, just how it is. That's just, don't know why. And where should you be? I touched earlier about B2B and B2C. If you are B2B, Twitter and LinkedIn are going to be really important. There's tons of spam there, but they're still important networks. And then if you B2C, Google and Bing search, definitely. Facebook is really popular, and YouTube. But it doesn't mean to say that you need to go, so Nick's mentioned here, wow, you've got Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram. Whoa! I need about 10 different channels. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is choose 1, 2, or 3 maximum channels that you want to use, but choose those after you've done a little bit of research. And if you're already interacting on some of those channels, then analyze, how is that interaction going? Are you generating no interaction, and are you just broadcasting? Are you just broadcasting once a month, which, to be fair, is quite a small amount. Daily or weekly is exceptionally important. And what kind of look at yourself and your business critically, and see, well, what are we sharing? What should we be doing? And what channels are going to be great for us this year and next? Because if you've been in the online world for a couple of years or even 4 or 5, then you'll know that simply because something worked last year doesn't mean to say it's going to work this year. You know, the internet is changing every single week. There's things that happen. There's new channels that new platforms that will come out. There's new ways to do things, but it still is about connecting with people. It's about sharing stories, and if we look at your business and generating revenue in the end, but also helping people, because I know that's potentially why every business owner or entrepreneur gets into business in the first place. Yeah, it's about leaving the boss and working for yourself, etc. But it's also about making that connection. People buy from people. A famous person once said that, and one of my mentors has said that to me, and I hugely believe that. So that's important to keep in mind, that it matters not if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if your website isn't the best design that you think it should be, or the quality of the video that you're uploading to YouTube isn't what you see massive big corporations or even a potential leader in your market doing. That's okay. The point is to make that connection with people, and grow yourself online, your brand online, and be a better version that connects with your customer avatar. And that's pretty much it. That's how you're gonna increase your digital presence. And what's really, really important, so it's your website, it's looking at your social media and how your stories are shared, and then analyzing, understanding, and if needs be, pivoting for the future. If things come about. We've got smartphones now. They weren't around 10 or so years ago, or 15 years ago. So it's worth thinking about the future. If you want any more information, then head over to onewebstreet.com. If you're on YouTube, look through some of the different videos here and get in touch. If you want to go over to the website, I'll just scroll back to the top here. You can come over and read this if that's what you prefer. We've got a contact page here. If you want to click on that, you can send myself and Nathan a message and we can get in touch. If you then want to sort something out from there, then feel free.